Alright guys, welcome to another video. I would say low-key I've been looking for another A90 Supra, but I've been posting on Instagram about it, and I've been on the hunt for a crashed, or I should say lightly crashed A90 Supra, preferably a 2020, for a very specific and odd project that I have planned. Found one in St. Louis. My old crew chief Andy was able to check it out at the auction lot, which gave me a lot more confidence in it. But as with any auction car, there's still a little bit of risk and quite a bit of unknowns, and it just showed up. So we're about to see what we're getting ourselves into.
Adam has been staring at the gate camera for the past 2 hours.
Dude, the driver keeps saying he's gonna be here in an hour. He's gonna be here in an hour. He's gonna be here in an hour. I'm anxious and excited. The funny juxtaposition of this is the same day that the Supra is getting delivered is the same day that the 992 GT3 got delivered, and way more excited for the Supra. It's also like the roll of the dice of not really understanding how clean the car may be. So I'm like excited to get hands on it and figure out what's broken, and if I have the parts to fix it, it means I can be doing burnout soon.
Forklift operator.
Go ahead, let's raise it up a little bit and see what we catch here.
Well, it runs. There you go.
Stay on the brake. A little bit more. A little bit more. All right, stop. Good. Keep going. Good. No, we're good. We're good. This is a drift car. Keep going. Oh! We good. Can we turn? No.
Maybe we'll go in reverse.
Jim, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Oh! I gotta like that. Hell yeah!
It works! You don't watch the Ghost Ride the Whip.
Ghost ride the whip then.
Hey James, you wanna see something cool?
Yeah.
Adam.
Never mind.
We got one front brake.
Yeah, it's not as good as an idea.
Yeah, wait the neighbors, dude. This thing's louder than your four motor.
Hey, relax. You saw the side's got carbon fiber rear caps?
Holy sh**.
Money. Is it real or is it wrap? I think it's wrap. No, it's real.
What do you want the Porsche?
Formula Drift 2029. Let's go.
No. S15s only, baby. Come to Papa. Come to Papa.
Damn, we even got PPF on this bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Junk.
I love Supra people.
Get that.
What? Now we should be able to just pull the jack in enough to get the wheel over this and then
Got it.
And she looks stock underneath the hood. That's a good sign. I don't want one of these things that was modified and sheesh. What's not stock?
Those little subwoofer things.
Damn, the mirror caps are all broken. What you got back there? Anything good?
Oh, Mr. Peterson.
Allegedly, this car was in 2 accidents. It was actually rebuilt before from potentially a rear end wreck. That's what we're gonna try to see if we can find. 15,000 miles, it's not bad. Hopefully the strut tower is solid.
Crash.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, this wheel looks a little tweaked too. So
We need an RK tune.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get him soon. Hopefully that's just some arms, but. All right, time to go home. Damn, I'm stoked that the hood closes so good. The hood looks salvageable, the front bumper looks salvageable. Fender, I mean, a little bit of spray paint, she'll be mint. The important thing is the explanation of why I picked up this crashed Supra. Perfect diet day in and day out. Well, you know that I absolutely don't. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes into play, Ritual. Ritual helps us fill the gaps in our diet with no shady additives, fillers, or colorants. And these 2 easy to take capsules provide 10 nutrients to support a strong foundation for your health. My favorite thing about Ritual is their transparency. The ingredients they use, why they use them, where they source their nutrients and why, their environmental impact, and even the materials that they use for shipping and packing. Their They're transparent about everything, even down to their recycled mailers and plant-based ink. Essential for Men contains 10 high-quality nutrients like vitamin A, D, omega-3, and zinc, which are all difficult to get in our diet alone. The delayed release capsule is gentle on an empty stomach, but my personal favorite thing is the mint tab that comes in the bottle that keeps the vitamins smelling super fresh. Get what your body needs delivered right to your door and fill in the gaps that are in your diet with Essential for Men, a small step that helps support a healthy foundation for your body. I got a code for you guys that's gonna get you 20% off for your first month with Ritual. All you have to do is go to ritual.com/AdamLZ20 and at checkout use the code AdamLZ20. I wanna give a massive thank you to Ritual for sponsoring this video, and now we are back into all the fun. With Drift Week and getting older, the allure of having like a nice, comfortable drift car gets higher, and honestly I was a little bit jealous of Duarte and Jordan's F80 drift car. You can see Taylor's building one now. The idea of having a newer car that makes factory power that's good enough for drifting, still comfortable with like creature comforts, is very cool. However, the BMWs weren't really it for me just because of the fact that they're heavy. I think they weigh like 3650. They're big, and as with any BMW, especially the M cars, the maintenance is a bit higher. They have the weird things, the crank hub fix, all those things that I didn't want to deal with, especially being around other people with those cars. The Supra, which is technically a BMW, has a bulletproof power plant that makes fantastic torque, but the best thing about it is the car is very light. I think it's about 400 pounds lighter than an F80 M3. They weigh in around 3250, 33, and then you can pull about, I think, 200 pounds out between the battery, seats, and putting a titanium exhaust on. The biggest problem with it is these Supras, well, I would say they don't come manual, but they do come manual now, and TJ actually got a manual to do this. Not balling like TJ, which is why I got a crash car. But the limitation is the automatic transmission. It has an 8 HP, which is an automatic gearbox, 8-speed. Not ideal for drifting because you don't have the ability to use a clutch for clutch kicking. It becomes an issue when you have a handbrake. But this is where we have a solution. There's a company called HTG. They make a standalone transmission controller for the 8 HP that they use in drifting in Europe, and it works really well. But I don't know how well it's going to work in a new car where I still want to retain its stock-like drivability, but add the feature of putting in a clutch pedal, which you can use to basically clutch kick the 8 HP automatic transmission. Sounds weird. I promise you it will work well. I just don't know how it's going to work well with keeping the car functioning like a stock car. A bit more difficult than if I was putting this 8 HP in a drift car. So the HTG team is actually flying in this weekend, and this is going to be the development car to see if we can make it work. And if it does work, I think we're going to see a lot more of these A90 Supras drifting. A lot of people are following the mold that Jordan and Duarte have done with the F80s, but with the Supras being the same price, lighter, personally I think better in stock form. If Drift HQ in collaboration with HTG can develop a solution that we can sell to allow you to put a clutch pedal and a handbrake in your A90 Supra, I think it could be an alluring alternative. I didn't mention what I paid for this car. I'll let you know that the shells that me and Johan both have cost about the same amount as an S chassis shell. As an S chassis shell. Say
Tongue
that 5
twister.
times fast. And this car in running driving form cost in the mid-20s. You can find crash Supras under 20. Obviously they might need a bit more body repair. You can find one like this that's almost ready to go in the mid-20s. And to be honest, that's like the same price you would pay for like a well set up 500 horsepower drift car that looks nice, is comfortable. Like you're not gonna get AC in a drift car. So it may sound ridiculous and sound like a novelty, but at Drift HQ we see what people are buying, we see what people are building, and I believe it's a huge market that's currently untapped because of the transmission limitation. So we're gonna figure out if we can make this 8 HP work. I'm pretty confident we can, but if we can't, that's when we go into the development side of working on a manual transmission swap solution, which has been done before, but the information is limited, and the whole purpose of this car is to learn, develop, create solutions for Drift HQ, and of course, have fun. I kid you not, it's 8:30 a.m. We normally start the day at 9 a.m. I get in here, Johan's already got the rack out of the new Supra. What'd you find? You find anything?
Broken lower control arm, broken tie rod, like literally split right here. Which looks like a pretty good weak point. So luckily we have all the leftover parts from that car.
Oh, so this is the rack for my old car.
Right.
Man, that's convenient though. We got a whole car where the whole front end's pulled apart. I think we should hopefully have everything, huh?
Yeah, so I'm gonna swap this over, pop the sway bar back in, and the front end should be straight. I'll check the other side just in case, but I turned the wheel, everything moves fine. We gotta check the rear. It looks like the rear is tweaked out too, which we didn't, it was hard to see in the pictures. So we'll check the rear, see what we need, and then get all that ordered or on the way.
Unfortunately, my car was hit on the same side as this car, so in the rear we don't have access to a bunch of perfect arms, but Lucky for us, Titan kind of winds up with quite a few of these parts cars, so hopefully they have the arms that we need. But yeah, I get in this morning. I was expecting to put this thing on the lift, and Johan's already in there deep looking at all the replacement stuff that we have. So this thing might be driving today. Exciting stuff. Pro tip, whenever you're drying a car and you got a little bit of water left over, I love using the ceramic speed shine as a drying aid. You can kind of mist it on and it's a little bit easier than applying dry. Then when you dry the car, it'll leave a little bit of a haze, so you'll want to go over it with another pass, but it leaves a nice layer of protection and keeps everything nice and slick. Car has 15,000 miles on it. It had that side impact, but I think the reason why this car got totaled out is because when at 2,000 miles, it was in a rear end wreck. We haven't found a lot of evidence of that. Maybe we'll be able to research and find some photos. The trunk does appear to be resprayed, but the back left wheel is tweaked. So right now we're looking at the arms. Johan's taking some measurements and we're gonna see if we can figure out what's bent on this side so we can come up with a game plan to replace it. A quick eccentric adjustment and it seems to get it close to good, but it appears the only damage on the rear is on the lower control arm. It's kind of squeezed in where it sits on the bushing versus this side where it's spaced out a bit more. Now we all know that we could just go full kill right off the rip with this car, but I'm trying to look at this with the future of these cars coming down in price in mind, and I really want to figure out a way to get cheap angle on these. On the 350Zs, there's those angle adapters where you can get an extra 10 to 15 degrees of lock for next to no money. So I'm gonna play around, and for the first time, I'm gonna try to design an angle adapter of my own and see if I can get a little bit more angle out of a stock car that still lets you keep stock arms and stock drivability, but if you wanna go to the track, have a little bit more angle than you would otherwise. Upon closer inspection, it looks like they did a really good job, but I can definitely tell that this area has been resprayed. It almost looks like they blended it, because this looks like OE clear here, but it starts to get a little bit fisheye around here. This has definitely been repainted, and then this over here, for sure. I mean, it might even come back with a wet sand, but whoever did it, the color's pretty dang good. Yeah, like from any more than a foot away, you would not be able to tell. Especially the rear. I mean, you see a little bit of weird line in the trunk, but the plan with this thing is to like crash it into walls and Sean Booth, so, you know, and Johan. True. Bro,
We got A90 tandem.
I totally forgot, your car's white too.
No, unfortunately it's not.
It's not? You're painting it red?
No, it's red.
I forgot, you got so many A90s, dude.
Yeah, I got so
can't
many
keep up.
A90s,
I
bro.
can't keep up. All right, well then we can tandem the red cars together.
Okay, if I fix the frame rails on the white one, then we got a white one.
Sean can drive this one, and then he'll be in between us, and we'll look like what's red, white, and red.
Red, white, and red.
Stick with that. We'd be like
Trini.
RTR, but we'd have
Trini?
Yeah, Trinidad's.
That's
white.
that's the Trinidad
We
flag.
go to the
What's the Trinidad flag?
Trinidad,
Yeah.
red, white, and blue. I mean black.
You hear that?
Red,
Yo,
white,
Lee's gonna give you crap about that. What's red, white, and red?
Hey,
I'm trying to think.
Panama?
What are the rockets that you eat? The red rocket? The ice pop? Oh yeah, we can look like a Canadian flag. Josiah, where you at?
Hey.
Interior needs some love, but that'll be a fun project. Shouldn't take too long. Ready for some victory donuts, Johan?
Yep, Supra stop working.
All right, first step, I want to make sure that this thing has full power. I mean, it feels pretty solid. What do you think?
Felt good over there. I punched a little harder than that.
You punched it harder than that? What are you trying to say, bro?
That you're
It's auto shifting. I wonder, rear axle differential lock. I wonder if it's in some sort of weird mode. You might have some nannies that are interfering.
right. I mean, that sensor on top is on the front.
Yeah, even in manual mode, it's automatically shifting.
It's mad.
Yeah, I wonder if I think it's the ride height sensor.
Yeah.
I think, as annoying as that is, I think that could do it.
The back one was attached, so it has to be that front driver's side.
Yeah, it's like short shifting the car. It feels like the motor's healthy though.
Yeah, sounds
That's good. Yeah. Man, I don't think she's gonna do some donuts right now. Yeah, it instantly shifts.
Damn.
Yeah. I look back at this shirt and I cringe. If you remember this design, that makes you a longtime follower of mine, and for that, I'm immensely appreciative. Now, this all started when I made stickers that said swagga as a joke for a high school video class. And to my surprise, people wanted to buy them, but I wanted to make something cooler. I followed the stereotypical logic of anyone's first t-shirt design. I said, I like cars and I like bikes, so I'm gonna put both on a t-shirt. I sealed the deal with a tacky yearbook quote about high bunny hops and low cars, and I had 2 friends help me take some random photos and turn them into a graphic. It actually all originated with my beautiful sketch right here. As you can tell, I'm quite the artist. In March, we're gonna be exactly 10 years from that first t-shirt design, and we've gone from me shipping out t-shirts in my bedroom to an amazing 16-person team based here in Central Florida. Over the years, we've sent hundreds of thousands of packages all across the world, and recently we've even gotten our shirts in Zoomies all across the USA. To commemorate 10 wild years, we are bringing back the original design with our new style, and it's actually based on a real photo we shot with my childhood dream car that I now own. It's only gonna be available in a special limited edition bundle that drops with our newest giveaway on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your calendars, because this is a drop you're not gonna wanna miss. I know I mentioned this is gonna kind of be a budget build, but the one thing where I just couldn't resist, gotta do an exhaust on the car. Stock is way too boring, way too quiet. These things aren't the best sounding engines. Personally, I think they sound better than the F80, like little farts and stuff that go on. Really raspy engine. B58, good engine, but now we gotta make it sound good. I spent quite a bit of time this morning trying to get the car out of limp mode. We weren't able to rev over $2,000 yesterday. One of the things I thought it was the ride height sensor is missing the arm. We ordered one from Toyota, but it didn't come in time. So I made a little MacGyver fix with zip ties. I know it looks like it wouldn't work, but when the car's on the ground, it actually lets it follow the travel of the arm, and it didn't solve the problem. So then I went to the back because it was getting these weird diff faults, and this wheel still had quite a bit of toe in, like a ½ an inch. So I corrected that because that made the steering wheel off center, which usually makes the car mad. Didn't fix anything. So here we are, probably like an hour into messing around with stuff, trying to clear codes and do things. Sat in the car mad for 10 minutes. Then went to drive to go put the car away. Just came back to normal. So hopefully it stays that way, especially after I change the exhaust. What the heck? I don't think that's supposed to hold in the fuel tank. It moved a little bit. I don't know if I'd rather work on the 4-rotor Supra or the stock Supra. Did you camera pick that up?
Should have.
We're fighting gremlins on the 4-rotor Supra. We've had a video that we've been filming since I've been back on the 4-rotor, but we're waiting until it can be in a good spot to be excited, you know? Right now, she's fighting us. I don't remember it taking so long to take this brace off. Yeah, so did we take that out?
I think you did.
Oh, so I took out the gas tank straps thinking that they were part of the brace, but they weren't.
Our brains aren't all here right now.
Imagine the gas tank just fell.
Imagine.
I was like, why is the gas tank moving? Probably because I took out the bracket. That would make sense.
I'll honestly repeat that again.
Yes, I am very envious of the people on YouTube that work on a lot of newer cars, because it is so simple compared to a lot of the custom stuff that we do. Bolt-ons on a new car. This is nice. 3 bolts, had the whole exhaust removed. I love it. Good job. Not bad. So we will save approximately 40 pounds with our new exhaust system. Feels like 60. Well, no, that's how much this weighs, but the new one's 20. Sure. Good guess. Some trash. Yeah. In the bin. One thing that is really cool about the stock A90 exhaust system is this flat section up here. Not super common to see on cars, but that I think is the equivalent of like a 3, maybe a 3.5 inch oval exhaust. So it gives it a little bit more flow while still giving the car super good clearance. But it's heavy, so we don't with that. I got a little excited, so I'm jumping right into the next mod. I'm pulling off the charge pipe. On these cars, the charge pipe is plastic and it has a tendency to break. And I don't want to be stranded when I'm drifting. So it's coming off, and I'm going to replace it with a beefier unit. Strength test. Well, I cut my hand, and it didn't break. No, you don't.
0 for 1.
Yep, that's gonna hurt. Got the new metal charge pipe from the homie Jordan, aka RK Tunes. He offers a plethora of parts for your BMW, for your Supra. If you're a big Burble Tune guy, he's your guy. He's actually on Drift Week right now, otherwise I would have loved to get him here to do this with me, because this is really hard. It's taking me all like 2 minutes. But anyway, nice. I like that it's 2-piece because you don't need to snake it around. Comes with different hardware. Boop it in. Brings back the old days, back when we were spraying nitrous through this thing. That was back when, like, I think these were still prototype for him. I think, man, I was actually pretty early to the Super game. It's crazy how long they've been around now.
Yeah.
I feel old. What is that song that keeps getting stuck in my head? You know what I'm talking about? Is that from a commercial? It sounds like a song that they would play. Like, did you ever go to ice skating rinks when you were a kid?
Yes, we're both gonna sound really stupid that we don't know this off the cuff.
But people are gonna. I feel like it's one of those things that like you know what the sound sounds like, but you don't know what the song name is. You know? Mm-hmm. And ice skating rinks. Do they have those in Florida? Why do we go ice skating in ice skating rinks when it is cold? As you guys know, I've owned two A90, well I guess three A90s, but two stock A90s at this point. I've tried quite a few exhaust systems, but one that I haven't yet is Titan's titanium exhaust system. They are local. It's always cool to support the local homies. And this is actually one of the lightest on the market. It saves over 20 pounds. It's beautiful, and it still retains the factory valve, you can see down there, which is going to allow us to quiet it down if I ever do use it on like a drift week or something like that. But start to assemble this thing. Been priding myself on not looking up any DIYs, so let's see if this thing's simple to figure out. Now I tighten and I get to hear the sweet, beautiful sounds of Titan Motorsports. Believe it or not, this is my fourth A90 Supra exhaust. What I like about it, there's not that much adjustability and the clearance is really good. Nothing rubs, but what I found with the other exhausts I had that had a bunch of adjustability, there's a lot of room to have stuff clocked or misaligned, which then causes rattles and vibrations, which is not fun. So I've got pretty much everything fitted. I'm gonna do a wipe down with brake cleaner before I start it, just to get all of these fingerprints off. That way they don't burn in and we can have a nice even finish instead of having my fingerprints burned all over. It'd be kind of funny for a meme one time if I got a titanium exhaust, put a bunch of greasy fingerprints all over it, and then let it get hot. I almost feel like it could look cool if it was intentional enough. All right, ready to hear this puppy? I love the tips. The tips are sick with a little bit of blue and the Titan logo. They got a good logo, you know? You know, some brands don't have a good logo. I like our logo. I think we have a good logo. Just be mindful, cold start is really loud in these, so it's not gonna sound like this all the time. It's probably gonna be really loud. I think that's the quiet. It might get quieter.
Yeah. It brings me back to the old white A90.
I do miss the old A90, but that like vibrated the floor so much because it dumped right by your feet.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool, but I hated not having a passenger seat in like the super gnarly carbon bucket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this warm up for a little bit and then we can rev it. It's warm now, so it should be way quieter on startup. I did also find out some bad news. I was trying to flash the car last night to turn the boost up, and it seems like whoever had this car before took it to the dealer because the ECU is locked, which means that I need to get it sent out to get unlocked so I can put the Jordan RK tunes on it. And then once I put the Jordan RK tunes on it, it'll probably pick up like another 100 wheel and like another probably 150 foot-pounds of torque. But we'll let it warm up for a second and then I'll let you know what this puppy sounds like.
My God, Twizzler. What? You want to show this?
Bruh.
Tools, show this.
Bruh.
I may or may not have gotten, I was procrastinating last night. I had emails that I was supposed to do, but I was like, you know what? I really want to start my knuckle development. So I did the ghetto trick to find out how much angle that I could have without the leading wheel hitting stuff. This was probably like 2 inches of toe out. And right now, like the Ackerman's terrible on the car because like the leading wheel's like this and the trailing wheel's like this, because I'm basically just cheating the fact of where the tie rod pickup is. But this is a good sign because it's quite a bit of angle. And I'd say this wheel probably has like another 10 degrees more that it can go before it runs into any rubbing issues on the inside. And that's if I'm running the factory front wheel. But it looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, looks pretty awesome.
The problem is when you toe out to cheat the angle, your trailing wheel isn't gonna have that much lock, so you get a bunch of scrub, which makes the car less fast at big angle, which isn't really a problem for what I'm doing. But when I move the tie rod pickups, it'll allow me to get a little bit more turn out of that, but we still don't want too much because the knuckle is gonna be the limiting factor on that side because then it like starts hitting stuff. All right, this is exhaust flaps closed, normal mode. Not the best sounding engine, but I feel like the exhaust helps a lot. It sounds way better than it did before. Full disclaimer, I don't have control of the pops or bangs right now. I know I'm an anti-crackle pop guy, but there's a lot of crackles and pops until I get this thing flashed. I'm happy with the sound. I think it sounds good. The crackle and the pop still gotta go, so we'll flash that out when we can. Obviously the big thing of this car is gonna be development learning. I really want to get that trans control figured out, but I'm not gonna lie, it actually works better in automatic than I would have expected. Next up, we gotta do the handbrake, we gotta get the trans control figured out, and I wanna start playing up with the knuckles. But for now, we're gonna go enjoy the car, do some celebratory donuts, and have some fun. Good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Just makes you sit on your seat.
Yeah, dude, it like I think with the stock suspension and the super grippy tires that it comes with, like it is throwing you around. I'm glad I figured out how to get the locked seatbelt to lock, because before it was so hard to drive. But it's got like a decent amount of angle, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Once we have the clutch switch hooked up, the cool thing is you'll be able to kind of clutch kick the car, which will also let you float off throttle. Because right now it's kind of difficult because the car doesn't catch, and you have to like be really committed with the throttle to keep it in boost because it's an automatic. So I'm really excited to see how that feels and kind of transforms the drifting experience.
First time when I went around just now, it was in third. I shit to second, but third I guess was better.
Yeah.
Less, but it's weird because the ratio on the steering was like really short. So, but it's fun.
I'm stoked. It doesn't even get warm. We've been like drifting. It makes cars overheat really fast because you don't get any airflow to the front. And I'm a little bit curious to see what happens with this, but I am planning to upgrade like the heat exchanger in it. But that's a great sign if we've just done a bunch of donuts and the temp gauge hasn't even moved. That's it. We'll see you soon with the other Supra with 4-rotor stuff.